Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen.
Alright. What's going on, everybody? It's episode 24 of Gettin Geeked with your boy, Danny Allen. That's me, your host. What is going on? What's going on, everybody? I need to adjust my microphone. I apologize. Gotta adjust the mic just a little bit. There we go. Hi. Hello. This week has been a weird week for movie news, streaming news, entertainment media, whatever you want to call it. You know why you're here. Star Wars is in the news. Marvel's in the news. That's some DC news, but we're not really going to talk too much about DC today. Maybe a little bit towards the end of the show. A real heavy Star Wars-centric episode today. With that being said, what are you most hyped for Star Wars? What do you want out of Star Wars? Did you watch Andor? If you haven't watched Andor, I recommend it. At least to get your opinion on it. I enjoyed it. My review is on the channel. Yes. Alright, so what am I talking about today on today's episode? From Lucasfilm, Indiana Jones. We got The Acolyte, Mandalorian, Season 3. Ooh, Grogu's back with Mando. We'll talk about it. Daisy Ridley. Oh my god, she posted an Instagram story of a Yoda statue. We're going to talk about it. And then for Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. We got the poster. We got a teaser trailer. And then we'll talk about Black Adam to close out the show. Okay, let's get to it. Main topic number one. Indiana Jones. Got the new trailer, The Dial of Destiny. Got Force Awakens vibes as far as like the teaser goes. Like the same trailer house made this trailer. I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan. Let me explain why. I grew up with Indiana Jones and Han Solo already established, already icons. So I kind of had to not pick one, but one of them stood out over the other, and the obvious one was Han Solo. Not to say that Indiana Jones was bad. Those movies are a lot grimier, dusty looking. This is like from a 8-year-old's perspective when I watched them as a child. A lot more grimy, Nazis weren't really my thing for villains. Like Star Wars alluded to the Empire as Nazis, but Indiana Jones really took it that far. And yeah, I watched Indiana Jones. I have the VHS of all the Indiana Jones movies. But when Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out in 2004 or whenever that came out, I wasn't hyped about it either. I know Shia LaBeouf was in it, and there's aliens. But it's not like I'm rewatching all those movies on the weekends like I do with Star Wars. I just don't have that connection. For me, the Mummy franchise was my Indiana Jones. It has that same excitement, that same adventure that people attach to Indiana Jones. And of course, Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is iconic, the whip. And this trailer was pretty lit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, for what they can do now with technology, it doesn't surprise me that they're using de-aging technology to make Harrison look younger. Sick. What does that mean for Solo 2? I'm kind of worried because they cast Alden Ehrenreich as a young Solo, but now they have this technology to just de-age Harrison Ford. This is probably why we aren't going to get a Solo 2. It wouldn't surprise me if in The Mandalorian, which we'll talk about later, in the new season of The Mandalorian, it wouldn't surprise me at all if a Han Solo were to show up as a young de-aged Harrison Ford. I would prefer Alden coming back because, as soon as you pass that torch, I expect Disney to maintain that continuity. Oh, it's Harrison Ford. He is Han Solo. Yes, he is. He is Han Solo. But Alden assumed that character, so it's just, I don't know. It's a very weird situation for not only Disney, Lucasfilm, but for Harrison Ford and Alden Ehrenreich. I feel like he got shafted, and I feel like the problems with those movies. Kathleen blamed him for the failure of Solo, which was totally ridiculous. She's the one that fired the directors midway through production. She's the one, changing the direction of Solo and Lucasfilm in general. And she's blaming her actors for that, and that's just totally not cool. But when it comes to Indiana Jones, there's nothing I didn't like in this trailer. Will people like time travel in Indiana Jones? They didn't like aliens, so why would they like time travel? Yeah, what did you think about the Indiana Jones trailer? Harrison Ford coming back, the Dial of Destiny. I think Mads Mikkelsen is playing a Nazi guy or something. We didn't get any dialogue from him in the trailer, so let me know what you guys thought. Let's talk about it. Indiana Jones coming up next. Let's go. Star Wars in the news. Daphne Keane, chick from Logan, X-23. She's going to be in the Acolyte series, which is a Sith Lord based series set in the High Republic, 100 years before Episode 1. Oh, is this about Darth Plagueis? Is Palpatine gonna be in this show? I doubt it. Apparently, according to Daphne, this is about the Sith infiltrating the Jedi. And the Sith are the main protagonists of this series. Besides Ahsoka, this is my second most anticipated Star Wars series. For that reason. I've been wanting a Sith Lord series in general for years, whether it be the Old Republic, Darth Vader series. We need more Sith. And if they find a way to make us sympathize with the Sith and make it seem like the Jedi are the ones that are fucking everything up, then I'm all for it. So we don't know too much about the Acolyte besides that logline. I just hope that they take some of what Andor was doing as far as the tone, and they maintain that tone in this series. Less Boba Fett, more Andor in this Acolyte series. You could have the lightsabers, like I said last week, I think, or maybe 2 podcasts ago. You can have lightsabers in the Force and still have some grit and some real, like, not aesthetic, just the vibe of Andor. How it's like, oh, it's so adult. You can take it there with the Acolyte. I just hope they learn from Obi-Wan, and they learn from Boba Fett, and they learn from Andor. I hope this series, they shoot on location as much as possible. I hope they utilize shadow, atmosphere, mood when it comes to the lighting. Don't use models. I want Lucasfilm and ILM. They set the standard for movie making with all the miniatures and all the practical sets, and then they rejuvenated the industry with the CGI in the Clone Wars, or the Phantom Menace, I should say, Attack of the Clones. That was like revolutionary. Yeah, it looked kind of off, but that was because nothing else was like that was being put out at that time. So George Lucas had to take that risk in order to progress the industry and make it better. Because now it looks like it could be seamless. I just hope they put that more towards the background. I know they're utilizing the volume stage to shoot most of their sets now, but that's gonna be super limiting too. I just hope it's I hope they balance it out a lot better, and they did with Andor. They did a lot of on-set locations, a lot of practical sets, in Andor, which was one of the most positive parts of that show. We can talk about the editing and the pace. That was my problem with Andor, was the pace. And yeah, dude, so the Acolyte. I'm stoked. Give me some Sith. And if Darth Sidious is in it, cool. I put money on it. I put money that Plagueis is more likely to show up than a young Palpatine. Because Palpatine's a human, and they don't live as long. And this is 100 years before Phantom Menace. So Plagueis could definitely be around. What if he's just one of the Sith in the group? He's not even the focus. He's just one of the guys. Or like we don't even know which one's Plagueis. We know he's a Mun or a Mun. That's the alien form. I don't know how you guys say that. A Mun, I think. So maybe there's a few Muns that are in the Sith, and we're like, we have to pick out which one's Plagueis. Ooh, I don't know. All I know is I'm super stoked. This is a clean slate for Star Wars, pretty much, because these are all new characters. There's no nostalgia goggles going on in the Acolyte. They can't lean on nostalgia that much. I mean, you could have a Yoda show up. Other than that, it's open game. It's free game. Just tell a good story. Make sure your cinematography's on point. I mean, I wanted to say that Obi-Wan had great cinematography, but it really didn't, which it's unfortunate. So yes, the Acolyte. What do you guys think about the Acolyte? The Sith Lords, the Sith being the protagonists, infiltrating the Jedi. How all that started. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yes. Coming up, just want to thank you guys for checking out my YouTube channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Been on this channel for 10 years, and we're just barely reaching 1,000. That's like 100 subscribers a year. Slowly but surely. Small community. Let's keep it tight. Punch that subscribe button. Like up the videos. I appreciate you guys. Comment your favorite Star Wars in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Yes. Coming up, I was talking about The Mandalorian Season 3 earlier regarding Han Solo possibly making a cameo. But we need to talk about the root of the problem. Okay, so the news here was The Mandalorian Season 3 is debuting March 1st, which is sick. Few months away. Let's go. And it's going to sound like I'm hating on The Mandalorian in these next few minutes, but I'm really not. I'm just going to attempt to explain why I don't like Grogu anymore. They botched Grogu as a character. They Jar Jar. It was like if Jar Jar was successful, this is what Grogu was supposed to be. Well, this is what Jar Jar was supposed to be. Because Grogu was so popular, they basically changed the trajectory of his character because he's so popular, because of all the toy sales. It's toyetic. And if you're watching this video, you know the season finale of season 2 of The Mandalorian. Grogu goes off with Luke to train as a Jedi, and that was going to be it, right? No, in Boba Fett, we see Luke training Grogu. Grogu makes the choice, I'm going to go back with Mando, I'm going to be a Mandalorian, even though I'm a Force-sensitive person, or, not person, a Force-sensitive, whatever species Grogu is. You know, it's just, they're backtracking. They retconned season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, and I don't appreciate that. They retconned it in another show, and they're going to have to jump back into that story in season 3. Like, oh, what's going on? And they're expecting everybody that's watching Mando to watch Boba Fett to catch that part of the story. It's just, yeah, it's not some. It's again, they don't have a fucking plan over there. And I support Jon Favreau. I support Dave Filoni. But when it comes to Grogu, they botched it. They botched it. I don't care about like every iteration now. There's got to be like an elder and a child running around, and the elder's got to protect this child. Like, how many times are we going to tell that story? I really wish they would let the Mandalorian be the Mandalorian, but now that we got Grogu, he's like front and center on the posters now. It's the Grogu show. I just don't know if I vibe with that yet. Am I wrong? Do you guys? I think he's overexposed. Do you think Grogu was overexposed? Do you think that it was the right choice to basically retcon the season 2 finale? Everybody was freaking out about that finale. Luke Skywalker's back, and I love the fact that they fixed the deep fake technology in Boba Fett. It looked a lot better, And when Luke gave Grogu the choice, I was like, oh, why are they doing this? Because obviously Grogu has that attachment. So Luke already knows he's going to leave. I don't know. It's just these plot points, man. They're capitalizing on the toys, man. I got 2 Grogus. I got 2. So, am I a hypocrite? Maybe. But I still think he's overexposed. At a certain point, I was like, oh, cool, he's going to go be a Jedi. That's what we wanted. But it's not always what we want. But my gripe here is, was this planned or did they actually retcon him? Because I don't think he was supposed to come back with Mando. I absolutely think that they changed the trajectory of Grogu's character. Yeah, man. And that's just my main thing about Mandalorian Season 3. Bo-Katan, I can't wait to see what she's up to. She's going to Mandalore, whatever's left of Mandalore. Rumor is she's taken the dark saber from Din, and she's gonna rule Mandalore, which is cool. I don't think that Din wants to necessarily rule Mandalore. I don't think he's down with Mandalore like that. I think from the trailer he has to go back and try to like beg for forgiveness because he took off his helmet. Like they wrote themselves into a corner with that one, didn't they? Oh, all the other Mandalorians take off their helmets, but he's in the cult version of the Mandalorians and the factions and all that stuff. All the real Mandalorians looking at him like, dude, like, well, you can take off your helmet. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, will you forgive me? Like, they don't care. They don't care. The only person that cares is the armor, and that chick is barely in the show. She got like 1 episode every season. It's like, dude, why do you value her opinion so much when you have so many other Mandalorians that don't give a fuck about your helmet? It's just stupid plot points. But then they make up for it by having like dope ass action sequences, the Western vibe. You know, it's the Mandalorian. So I'm super interested in the Mandalorian season 3. I'm just worried slightly. What do you think about the Mandalorian season 3? Are you gonna watch it March 1st? Comment below in the comment section. Let's do this. Okay. This just broke. This news just broke. Daisy Ridley. She posted on her Instagram. She's at Lucasfilm. She's posting pictures of Yoda. Oh, she's got to be renewing her contract or signing a new contract. Oh, she's gonna do a new trilogy. She's gonna do a spin-off series. Blah 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 blah. She's gonna be in a video game. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Daisy Ridley was off social media for a couple years because of the hate she got from The Rise of Skywalker, because she admitted that Lucasfilm didn't have a plan for that trilogy. She didn't know how her character was going to end up. She didn't know who her character was. And that's not her fault. And it's too bad that she got bullied off of social media, but she's back now. Posted up a statue of Yoda on her Instagram. So yes, of course there's going to be speculation. Oh, she's going to do a new movie. Now, okay, let's talk about this. Did I think that Daisy Ridley was going to come back at some point? Yes. Did I think she was going to come back this soon? No. I thought maybe 10 years from now she'd come back a little bit older. You know, you can tell a story that's 10 years, you know, obviously a decade later. Where's she at in her life 10 years from now? Maybe she's running a Jedi temple. She's got like a class of younglings. She's slowly but surely rebuilding the temple. That kind of a thing. But now, if she wants to come back sooner, which if she signs her contract now, we'll get a project maybe 2-3 years from now from her. And they could go into the building of that Jedi Order, having her go out and try to find Jedi. And in that show, they could kind of bring back a Finn if he wants to come back. They could bring back a Poe if he wants to come back. Both those actors, they expressed multiple times like, we're kind of done with Star Wars. But money talks, right? Now, I feel like for some fans, it's going to seem like they're going backwards. Like, we're done with the sequel trilogy. It's the worst trilogy. Just like we heard about the prequels from 2005 to 2012. The prequels were the worst thing in the world, right? But then the prequel fans grew up, and the prequels are the Godfather now to some Star Wars fans. Who's to say that people are going to say the same thing about the sequel trilogy? But yeah, so they can go a certain route with Daisy Ridley, Rey Skywalker. I would prefer that she was out doing missions, like just exploring Jedi temples, relics, kind of what they do in Rebels with Ezra, exploring, learning about the Force. If they lean into that and less of the separate plot lines, going to casinos, like rescuing animals from the casino. Like, if they stop the stupid ass plot points and just dive into the meat and potatoes of what the Force is about, get into the wills. Maybe Rey's like learning about the wills. Bring back George Lucas. This is like a what if, right? Bring back George Lucas as a producer again or something. Get him involved. I don't know, man. It's going to take a lot to sway fans back towards the sequel trilogy, because these last few years Lucasfilm has done a lot to separate themselves from from the sequel trilogy. They did all these nostalgia grabs with Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and the only new thing we kind of got was the Mandalorian. So to backtrack and go back to Rey Skywalker this early, it's interesting. It's just ballsy. Very ballsy. So are you guys hyped about this? Do you want Daisy Ridley coming back? Where do you see Rey Skywalker post sequel trilogy? Excuse me. Do you want her to build a new Jedi Order? Maybe she's gonna learn from Luke, saying like, if you start a Jedi Order, you're bound to have a couple of bad students, so be careful. That might be the line in the story that really makes it interesting. Maybe we'll get that Jedi Temple story that we wanted from Luke. What do you think about this news regarding Daisy Ridley? Comment below in the comment section. Coming up next, you guys seen the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, Volume 3? We knew this was going to come. The holiday special was put out last week. It's fantastic. I don't know if I have a review out for it or not. I think I might have reviewed it. I don't remember. I talked about it. But yeah, we got the trailer, and it looks good. James Gunn says this is it for my version of the Guardians, at least as far as from James. If they choose to use these characters later on in like a Secret Wars or a Kang Dynasty, that remains to be seen. But James Gunn has said, like, this is my final film with this cast on my end. Kevin Feige might have other plans. Now, we've seen the villain in this Guardians trailer. What was his name? Let me know in the comments. Purple. It's tip of my tongue. He's got the purple outfit. I'm worried it's going to be too confusing, because Kang has the same purple gear as this guy from the Guardians trailer. Fuck, what's that guy's name? Somebody let me know. I forget. It's the Revolutionary, I think, or yeah, something like that. The Revolutionary? No. Something like that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't do research like that. Let me know. But what I took away from this trailer was Rocket is going to have a storyline, a solid storyline this time. I hope we see that dynamic between the alternate variant Gamora and Peter. He's going to have to struggle with the fact that that's not his Gamora. She doesn't know him like that. Gamora is also going to have that relationship with Nebula. It's a different dynamic. And from what we saw from the holiday special, Mantis and Drax are killing it. Really stand out, like, performance from those two in the holiday special. So I hope they don't dial them back in this next one. I hope they lean into that and their dynamic more. As far as like who's gonna die, who's gonna live, I don't know. I really don't know. James Gunn isn't shy. I think it's called the High Revolutionary. That guy's name. James isn't shy of killing off characters. Like, he killed Yondu, so. And as far as like, oh, how is this gonna lead into Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty? You know, you got Adam Warlock in this thing, and they teased that shit like 5 years ago, and they're just now like, Will Poulter is going to be Adam Warlock, which is cool. It's just, I wish they would have developed him these past 5 years. Like, we're just now getting that character. But that's the balance you have when you have a bunch of characters and all these different things. Especially when James is only really responsible for the Guardians part of the universe, and Adam Warlock is attached to that, I guess. So, yeah, man. I don't have too much to say about the Guardians trailer other than I'm stoked for it. I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as much as the first one. Just, the humor was just too much for me. The first movie was like the perfect blend. And I think they're going back to that form in the third one. From what I got from the trailer, there's definitely more of a serious vibe with hints of humor. And yeah, man, I don't know. High Revolutionary, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't even know. What do you guys think about the Guardians trailer? The poster looks sick. I don't really like how they're so small on the ship, though. It's the poster. That's the first poster we're gonna get. And then we got what the fuck's the dog's name that talks? Cosmo. Cool. That was one thing I didn't really like in the holiday special, especially because his mouth isn't moving. You know. Okay, yeah. I forgot. We're talking about DC2. Black Adam. Apparently it lost money, guys. It's official. It lost money. Is it gonna get a sequel? Listen. They should have introduced Black Adam in the first Shazam movie. They should have had Shazam appear in this Black Adam movie. And they should have had Superman more involved in this Black Adam movie if they were serious about having Superman. Because, as we all know, James Gunn said on Twitter, he said it, nobody has a contract yet. Not even Henry Cavill. Henry's back. Didn't you see the post-credit scene? Yeah, we saw that. But that was before James Gunn took over. Nobody has a contract. And Black Adam lost money. So, we don't even know if Henry's back like that. It didn't make money. Dwayne Johnson, dude, he's Black Adam. You think that like movie stars, right? Dwayne Johnson, people are gonna go see Dwayne Johnson's new movie. Not necessarily. People don't know who Black Adam is, so they should have had him in the first Shazam movie. Tee him up, introduce him. Not make him the main villain, just have him in there. Tee that up in the Black Adam movie. Have Shazam in the Black Adam movie, and then do a Shazam versus Black Adam as your third one. Like, they are so separate when it comes to film. It's super weird because they're always together. Shazam and Black Adam. They're the duo, bro. I don't even know how to say it anymore. When you got Shazam, you got Black Adam. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Black Adam underperformed or lost money or whatever. The film was cool. I'm not rushing to watch it again. I just think they should have went harder with it. Should have took more risks with it. Dwayne Johnson's like, I wanted to make Black Adam a standalone thing on purpose, and I wanted him to stand on his own. So we should have made it R-rated. You should have done a lot. You should have worked on that script a lot harder. I don't know. There's just at this point it's inexcusable because we're talking about Dwayne Johnson here, one of the biggest movie stars in the world, one of the biggest audiences across the whole world, and to find out that Black Adam is like losing money, that's a bad sign. So yeah, my overall thoughts: should have put Black Adam in the first Shazam movie, and they should have had Shazam in this Black Adam movie. They need to tie those characters together a lot better. You're confusing people. You're not even acknowledging Shazam's origin in Black Adam. It's a totally different thing from what we saw in Shazam, letting out the 7 deadly sins. None of that was mentioned in this Black Adam movie. And to not have that type of interconnectivity when we're talking about Shazam and Black Adam, those specific characters, is not acceptable. And I think James Gunn said it best. Going forward, he's going to work harder to make the TV shows, movies, comic books, video games all tied together. He said not all of them, but most of them. Probably like 80% of everything's is going to be connected going forward. So yeah, I don't know. I doubt that we get a Black Adam 2. And this goes depending on how Shazam works out. I'm betting money Shazam 3 turns into a Black Adam versus Shazam movie, and then Superman will be tossed in there too, and they're going to wrap up both of those franchises. Because I have a feeling Shazam 2 isn't going to perform as good as some people think. They're over here making up villains, not from the comic books, changing shit up just to change it up. These writers think they're so, their writing is so good they can just make up characters that aren't in comic books. When you have a plethora of other villains tied to Shazam. And yeah, dude, it's just interconnectivity. If you do it or don't do it, make a choice. Anyways, episode 24, Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen. You've been watching, you've been listening. Punch that subscribe button, like and comment on YouTube. Let's run it up. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We got a month. I got like 937 subscribers. We have about a month to get another 70 subscribers. So let's do it. Let's run it up. Podcast is on Spotify. Yeah, and it's exclusively on Spotify and YouTube. I'm not putting it on Apple. I'm not putting it on Amazon. I'm not doing none of that. Spotify and YouTube. Let's go. Go fuck yourselves. Have a good one. Bye.
Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Danny Allen.